Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dion's Daily Dose for Thursday, July 23rd. So I know I scheduled this to start at 7:15. I wanted to do that just in case I didn't get finished with the stuff that I was doing. There's an article that I was just sent. Sean, thank you for sending me this article. And it is titled "No Longer in the Shadows, Pentagon's UFO Unit Will Make Some Findings Public." It's from the Baltimore Sun. I have to stick the link for this in the comments, as always. And can I just say that all of the other stuff happening, right? We know that UFOs are a thing. Pentagon acknowledged it, and there's barely a whimper, right? Nobody says anything, whatever, right? There's all this focus on everything else. Hey, Jack, good to see you. All this focus on everything else, all this focus on the virus, all this focus on other stuff. Quick summary, I read through most of it. It just says that despite Pentagon statements that has disbanded a once covert program to investigate unidentified flying objects, the effort remains underway, renamed and tucked inside the Office of Naval Intelligence, where officials continue to study mystifying between military pilots and unidentified aerial vehicles. Now, I just want to ask, does anybody actually believe for a moment that they shut that program down ever? But Rubio from Florida makes a very good point. Harry Reid as well. They hope the program will seek evidence of vehicles from other worlds, but its main focus is on discovering whether another nation, especially any potential adversary, is using breakout aviation technology that could threaten the United States. Rubio, who is the acting chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, told a CBS affiliate in Miami this month that he was primarily concerned about reports of unidentified aircraft over U.S. military bases, right? And that it was in the government's interest to find out who was responsible. And I agree with that. Regardless, he expressed concerns that China or Russia or some other adversary had made some technological leap that allows them to conduct this sort of activity. And it really does come down to, regardless of how you feel about UFOs or any of that stuff, they need to be studied. We need to find out who is responsible for this advanced technology that our pilots are encountering. So I'm all for investigating it and all that, but it amuses me a little bit that people are so just lackluster about it, right? Just whatever. Yeah, UFOs are real. So anyway, read through the article if you want. It's interesting. So we finished up an area in Long Beach today because we had it left over. So we finished up that little area, and then we went back to Springfield Township, out in the country a little bit, to knock some doors. I did take a few days off due to a death in the family that I spoke about before. So got back to it today. I will tell you, again, the vast majority of people are just happy that someone who's actually running is out talking to them and learning what they care about, and are just very nice, right? There are a couple who weren't, but I'm gonna tell you, there was a couple. There were a couple of dogs, LabraDoodles, I guess that's the guys that they were, and the cute fuzzy haired doggies, and they were just so happy that there was someone there. They were so excited. We were outside, and they were just running around, tearing around, and just adorable, adorable dogs. He said they don't shed at all. Labradoodles don't shed. I didn't know that. So that was kind of interesting. He's like, yeah, that's what made me decide on getting Labradoodles. They have a a good personality and they don't shed. I was like, who knew? Apparently he did. Yeah, my wife, of course, she knew and likes to point that out. Um, but she wants a Great Dane, I might add, with no thought of how big it is or the fact that they seem to believe they're lap dogs or any of that. But anyway, went out, met some people. We did get a couple of like one gentleman who came to the door. I told him who I was and why he was there, and he slammed the door. Okay, and that's part of it, right? You're going to have that. Another gentleman out in the country there in Springfield Township. I knocked on the door and he's like, "Yeah." He came. Now remember, he came outside, right? Keep that in mind. He walked outside of his house, even though he could talk to me through the screen door. He walked outside of his house. I, of course, whenever I go out, I knock on the door, I back up, probably at least 10 feet, and he says, "Yeah." I said, "Hi, I'm Dion Bergeron. I'm running to be your state representative." And he says, "I'm not interested." Okay. So I said, "Well, take care, sir." I said, "I can leave my card if you want, so that you can contact me if you have any questions or concerns, especially if I get elected. You have a way to get in touch with me." No, I'm good. Okay, take care. He says, "You need masks." I said, "I have a mask, but a mask is only required if you're within 6 feet, and I have maintained social distancing." What? It's true. So, yeah. And that's something that I want to point out to people is if regardless of how you feel about this mandate and all this stuff going on with the masks, right? The mask requirement. It specifically states in this mask requirement if you are unable to maintain social distance, if you are within 6 feet, if you are outside of 6 feet, you do not need a mask. If you are standing outside in your yard with no one around for a quarter of a mile, you don't need a mask. It's not floating in the air. And if it is floating in the air, your mask isn't going to help you. I'm just saying. There's the whole thing that they're saying about these masks being necessary are for the droplets, right? The droplets. What droplets are you expecting by yourself? Anyway, so yeah, that's all I'm saying. Use your head, people. I've made it very clear that if this was going to be a thing, it should have been a thing via the proper channels. The legislators, not just a mandate handed down from on high. But social distancing, if you maintain social distance, you don't need it. But tomorrow, I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet. I'm going to have to do it by myself. Everybody's kind of all my volunteers are busy tomorrow, so I'm going to do it by myself. I might bring Donovan. He enjoys it, and he seems to get a kick out of the different people and the different reactions. So he went with me to finish up another Long Beach book on a different day, and he had a good time. So I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I haven't decided where yet. Saturday, I'm going to go to Porter County and do some there. So yeah, that's where we're at. I will tell you though, the biggest thing that I like about knocking doors is getting to meet people, right? And hearing the various things that these people decide to talk about. Uh, some of the things are just like, what? Why would you even bring that up? Other things, obviously, like the gentleman with the LabraDoodles. Uh, he was actually very excited about the double track project. He's the first person that I've actually spoken to that was truly excited about it. He commutes back and forth to Chicago. He said he isn't even that concerned about the times. What he's hoping is that properly done, this project will actually hopefully get more uh, people to stop in Michigan City. It'll get us more tourism. It'll get us more. And I was like, maybe. I will tell you that where most people take the train to in order to shop at, say, the Lighthouse Mall and stuff like that, that's not an appealing area. It's not when you go down 11th Street and that little station there and the facade there. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that if nothing else, we can get some better looking station area so that people can learn there. But again, maybe it will. Maybe it'll have a positive effect. It's too late to do anything about it, so it doesn't really matter what my opinion of it is. But I'm looking forward to getting to meet more of you. If you're are expecting me to come to a particular area or would like me to come to a particular area, let me know. Talk at dionbergeron.com. If you're going to be home at a certain time or whatever, I'm getting out there to meet everybody. So thanks very much. I appreciate it. Uh, so far, like I said, I'd say probably 99% of the people that I've met are really nice, really kind, and just in general have a very positive reaction. It's that 1% that, just like always, right? It's the 1%, the one percenters. Whether it is the vocal minority that just hates everything, or whether it is the people that ruin it for others, the correctional officers that hit the front page, the police officers that hit the front page. It's that tiny minority that gets the most coverage. So, um, yeah. You know what? That's a good point, Jack. Government class, homeschool style. Uh, I think we do need to figure out a better way to teach our children. Um, I saw a video real quick before I go. I saw a video that my wife showed me on TikTok, and it was what it was this is how school's going to look, right, when they go back to school. And it was all these kids with masks and lines 6 feet apart and with like packaged lunch. It was horrific. It was absolutely horrific. I watched it, and it looks like something out of Hunger Games or some post-apocalyptic nightmare. It's really, is this really what we're going to? Um, I'll tell you what the big concern was, though, for most of the people that I spoke to in out in Springfield Township, was how are we going to get internet out there? Good, decent internet. Joe, good to see you. Uh, I'm not sure. We haven't done any polls yet. I will tell you that so far I have had a very, very positive interaction with the voters that I've spoken to. So we'll see what happens. It's still got a few months until November. I Yeah. So far it's going really well. So yeah, in the year Jack says in the year 2525, if man is still alive. Yeah, I saw this video, and just looking at the way school's going to be, I'll tell you, it really concerns me about sending my son back to to school under that type of environment. I mean, my biggest concern, though, as I stated before, my biggest concern is he's in advanced classes. And I don't know if he's going to have access to these classes if he goes in an online environment. That's one of the issues. So, what are you going to do? I understand the teacher's concerns. I do. But again, I point out flu season, right? We have cold season, and all of these things can potentially be deadly to the elderly, to the sickly, just like this virus is. We don't have shutdowns. We don't change things. I've made my position on that very clear. So thank you everyone for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you out when I'm knocking doors in the next week or so. Again, if you would like me to make sure to hit your neighborhood, just let me know. Talk at dionbergeron.com. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2020. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.